Welcome back to another edition of the Futbol Forever podcast, a podcast where we talk about the Liga MX and everything going on around Mexican football. Pocho Guzman, what have you done? Absolute destruction from Pocho Guzman and from Pachuca. A 6-2 victory over Necaxa, but 4 goals, man. 4 goals for El Pocho Guzman. What an absolute beast. And Pocho, please, man, please leave the Liga MX as soon as possible. You're at the right age, man. You're 23 years old. It's time, man. Go to PSV, go to Porto, go somewhere. You know, I'm just saying these teams because they're the ones that in the last few years have been giving our young Mexican players a chance at the European competition. But I mean, you know, obviously there will be other teams that are in the running that are interested in Pocho Guzman. So we'll see if he ends up going anywhere. I'm just hoping, man. I'm just hoping that he doesn't end up transferring to another team in Liga MX. And it doesn't matter what team. I don't want him to go to America. I don't want him to go to Chivas. I don't want him to go to Tigres or Monterrey or Cruz Azul. It's time, man. Export the guy. Just do it. Get out of here, man. Get out of here. And speaking about young players staying in Liga MX, I've been hearing about this young gun Marcel Ruiz, right? From Gallos Blancos, from Querétaro. And Chivas is actually interested in Marcel Ruiz, who, if I'm not mistaken, I'm in my computer here. Let me just look it up. But if I'm not mistaken, he's 17 years old. Actually, no, I've just researched this. I've just found out he's 18 now. He just turned 18 a couple days ago on October 26th. So the kid is now 18. But back to my point, Chivas is rumored to be interested in Marcel Ruiz. And I'm sure Chivas isn't the only one. But I was hearing yesterday on Jorge Ramos y su banda that Querétaro have placed a price tag on Marcel Ruiz. Now, again, this is just rumors and it's speculation. I don't know the validity of this, but I heard it on ESPN Deportes. Querétaro's price tag for Marcel Ruiz, if anyone wants to take him, at least for the teams in Liga MX, is $8 million. $8 million for Marcel Ruiz, who has had a breakout season. You know what I mean? No one knew who Marcel Ruiz was, 4 months ago or 5 months ago. But he's having a fantastic season with Querétaro. You know, he's had these moments of brilliance. I remember some against Morelia early in the season, against Pumas. I think it was maybe in the Copa MX, or I don't remember. But he's had some really good moments where he shows his technical ability, and he just didn't look like a 17-year-old at that time. You know what I mean? He looked like a player, kind of like Linus, where, they display their abilities to the point where you're like, this is a 17-year-old, 18-year-old kid? And that's what you want to see, man. But obviously that gets the attention of other clubs. And it is rumored that Chivas is interested in Marcel Ruiz, but $8 million, that is insane, man. Chivas, you can't pay that much for Marcel Ruiz because while, he's super young and he shows great stuff, it's way too early, man. You just don't know. He's still a prospect at this point. And I understand Chivas at the moment, because Chivas is not going through a good time. Not right now. After losing Pizarro, that they're in need of their figurehead, of the face of Chivas, of a really good player. And I was hoping that Chofis Lopez was going to do that for Chivas this season, was going to turn into the guy, the man for Chivas. And unfortunately, that hasn't happened, and it will not happen, at least not this season, because, Chofis hasn't seen too much action with Chivas. And I know for the last match, against Puebla, he wasn't even called up for that match. He was sent to the Sub-20, the U20s, for I don't know what reason. I know his contract is going to expire soon, and he's asking for a lot of money to re-sign with Chivas. That's what I've heard, what I've read. But it's just not. He's not the guy. At least not for this season. And I was hoping that this was Chofis' breakout season, man, because it's a world, it's a new era in El Tri, in the Mexican national team, and I felt that Chofis could fit in this new El Tri process. He could have a spot in this new team, and these new faces that we're seeing in El Tri. Looking forward to Qatar 2022, but at least for this season, it's not happening. And I don't know if Chofis will ever be the guy for Chivas, but Chivas is now going to look for refuerzos, right? They're looking for. I know there's been rumors that it's pretty much confirmed that Alexis Vega is the new Chivas man starting next season. Good pickup for Chivas, another young Mexican staying in Liga MX. But Marcel Ruiz going to Chivas, he's going to have a lot more pressure than what he does at Querétaro. And same thing if he was to go to América. And I think it would be better if he went, if he's going to leave to another team in Liga MX. Chivas is maybe the team he should go to, because at América, he's going to have to compete with foreign players. And he might face the same struggles that we've seen Lainez face. And if he goes to Tigres, we all know Tuca isn't super inclined to giving young players, a chance to show themselves. Sure, he'll throw them out there in the Copa MX, but, I don't know. And then maybe Cruz Azul is a good spot for him to land. I mean, look at what Roberto Alvarado has done there. Misael Dominguez is another young Mexican that has had a good opportunity there at Cruz Azul. So, I don't know. But preferably, I would want to see Marcel Ruiz stay at Querétaro for, I don't know, another season, maybe 2 more seasons. And then if he keeps going down this path, export to Europe. Look at what Tecatito Corona and Herrera are doing right now with Porto. Almost confirmed to advance to the knockout stages of the Champions League. Good for them. Unfortunately, on the other side, you have Guti and Chucky Lozano with PSV, who landed in a group of death. We really didn't expect PSV to get out of that group. We were hopeful, and, you just never know because it's football, but come on. So they're facing tough opposition. You have the Spurs, you have Inter Milan, you have Barcelona. So PSV probably wasn't going to get out of that group. So you have Chucky and Guti struggling. But, I mean, at least they're there, facing off against the Harry Kanes, facing off against Messi's, against Arturo Vidal, against Icardi, against Heung-min Son, against, stars, man, stars. Because that's what we're missing, I feel, in the Mexican national team, that our players don't face off against the best competition week in and week out. They don't practice with the best players in the world every single day. We need players in the top teams of Europe. That's what we need. With actual regular playing time, because that's the only way that we're going to get to the next level. So I know I didn't intend to go on a rant or a tangent this early in the pod, but we did, man. And I just want to see our young guns export to Europe and flourish. Kind of like what we're seeing with Chucky Lozano. Eric Gutierrez, I feel like in this short period of time that he's been with PSV, he's shown good things. He scored a few goals. He's given a few assists. He's starting to see, regular playing time. And I'm confident that Guti could eventually take control of a position in the starting 11 for PSV. And Herrera having a great season with Porto. He hasn't re-signed with Porto yet. I understand that, or I've read that he's asked for a ton of money, way too much. And it's going to be very difficult for Porto to keep him. And if I'm not mistaken, Herrera can leave for free in January. So be on the lookout for Herrera. I'm sure there's going to be a ton of rumors. There already is. You have rumors saying placing him at Roma. You have rumors saying that Arsenal is interested. I thought I read something about Tottenham, the Spurs being interested in him as well. So there's going to be a ton of rumors around Hector Herrera and his potential exit from Porto. He's a captain there, man. He's a huge player for Porto right now. And Tecatito Corona, man. Tecatito is... I am so damn happy that he's having a great season, man. Because it felt like last season Tecatito was just, constantly injured, and he's still very fragile, I feel like. He's still facing injuries often, but he's having a really good season, giving off assists, scoring goals. He's scored in the Champions League against Lokomotiv. Herrera had 1 goal, 1 assist. So they played a really good match, and both Herrera and Teca are having a great season so far with Porto. That's what we want to see from our Mexicans playing in Europe. But it all starts with the Mexican clubs not asking for ridiculous amounts of money for them. I mean, I understand from this rumor that Marcel Ruiz is placed at, a price tag of $8 million. But is that the case? If a European team comes knocking, not now, but maybe sometime in the future for Marcel Ruiz, are they going to ask for $8 million? I mean, geez, that's going to be very tough. They're probably going to say, no, thank you. Go to Colombia, go to Ecuador or Argentina and get another player that's cheaper. So we'll see, man. We'll see. I just hope that Marcel Ruiz doesn't end up going to another club. And I hope that Victor Guzman does the same, man. He just ends up, exporting, because now it's time, man. He's at the right age, Victor Guzman. 4 goals, man. 4 goals against Necaxa, and he's having a fantastic season. I mean, his growth over this past season has been remarkable. It's been huge, man. The guy had a SOFA score rating of 10, a perfect score. I mean, how can you not? 4 goals. Insane stuff from Victor Guzman, man. And like I said, just absolute destruction from Pachuca over Necaxa. A 6-2 victory at home. And Pachuca now is in position, man, to qualify to the Liguilla, to the playoffs. But we still have 2 games remaining, man. They're going to be huge. So this Liguilla race is getting very, very interesting. Because you also have Querétaro defeating Santos on Sunday, 2-1 victory over the current champs. A huge victory for Gallos Blancos, and they're also not out. They're only 3 points behind. Or no, they're tied. I'm sorry. They're tied in points with Pachuca at 22. So, I mean, these next few weeks, these 2 remaining weekends for Liga MX action are going to be absolutely insane. Between even Puebla is in there, Puebla, Querétaro, Morelia, Pachuca, Tigres cannot relax one bit. They're in 7th place currently with 23 points, but behind them is Pachuca with 22, Morelia with 22, Querétaro with 22, and Puebla with 19. Chivas, they've practically this past weekend said goodbye to the Liguilla hopes. Now, mathematically, it's still possible, but it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be very, very tough for Chivas to get to the Liguilla. They're facing off against León next weekend, this upcoming weekend, I'm sorry. And then the following game for them would be against Tigres. Another tough match. And Tigres, it looks like they're going to be scraping for those bottom, those last couple spots in the Liguilla race. So Tigres is going to go all out probably against Chivas in that final match. So unlucky for Chivas, man. I mean, crazy. Chivas, starts the game, starts winning against Morelia a few weeks ago, and then chokes the result. They end up losing that match. Here against Puebla, they got off to a good start. They were winning, playing good football. And then, again, you choke the result. So, I mean, Chivas, I don't know, man. Something's gotta change there. And the problem isn't Cardoso. I think Cardoso, with what he has, he's done a decent job. He had this team playing well. But yeah, I don't know about Chivas, man. They're gonna, this offseason is gonna be very, very important for them. And then you have the Club World Cup as well coming up for Chivas, which I know some fans are hopeful. For the sake of Liga MX, let's hope that Chivas could do something in the Club World Cup, because Mexican teams are always always embarrassing in the Club World Cup. Losing in the first round, and yeah, I don't know, man. But we'll see, man. This is going to be an important offseason for Chivas. All right, man. Let's move on from Chivas. Let's talk about the America versus Toluca match a little bit, because this match, on paper, it was supposed to be kind of like a Liguilla match. It was supposed to have that feel to it, right? But unfortunately, that really wasn't the case. Now, Toluca got off to a great start. They scored in the first minute of action. Alexis Vega off of a mistake from the America backline. I think Emmanuel Aguilera fell asleep. I don't know what the hell he was doing. But Alexis Vega got a goal. And things were looking good for Toluca. But then I think in the first half, America took complete control after, a few minutes after the Toluca goal. And they ended up scoring. And there it is, man. Henry Martin raising his hand and saying, hey, Piojo, I'm here. This is my spot. Showing Roger Martinez, showing the Colombian how it's done. Because, look, man, I'm not ready to pull the plug on Roger Martinez for America. I think the dude, they brought him for a reason. Now, we'll see if it ends up paying off. But this season, it definitely hasn't. And I don't expect it to. I don't think really anything's going to change for Roger Martinez going into the Liguilla, But I'm not fully ready. I know some America fans are probably like, are you crazy? I'm still not ready to pull the plug on him. I mean, America made a heavy investment in the Colombian striker. Heavy investment. And I think he has what it takes to be that guy for America. To be the Chucho Benitez or the Cabaña. I don't know about all that. I don't know about that. But I do feel like Roger Martinez could be better than some of the recent strikers that America has had and placed their faith in, like El Chino Romero. So I doubt he's going to reach the heights of Chucho Benitez or Cabañas, but I'm still not ready to pull the plug on him. Not right now. It is his first season in Liga MX, and Liga MX is a tough league. It really is. You don't see too many players succeeding in their first season in Liga MX. It just doesn't work that way. Now, if it does, then fantastic. But most often than not, it's not as easy like that. So not ready to pull the plug on the Colombian, but for now, Henry Martin is showing them how it's done, man. Showing them how it's done, responding with a golazo. It was a good goal. Maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but the assist from who? None other than the best, number 5, the best midfielder in Liga MX, Guido Rodriguez. Guido Rodriguez, man. The guy does it all. Defending, he had another fantastic match here against Toluca. And then he provides the assist for Henry Martin and America. So a 1-1 draw in the end. But yeah, Piojo left the match. He went to the press conference not happy, man. Not happy with his team because they did not show they wanted it, man. The second half was just a snooze fest. It wasn't just America. It was also Toluca. Just both teams didn't really show they really wanted to go for the result towards the end. So the second half just ended up being not too interesting. So, Piojo left the match upset. He wasn't happy with his team's play. And rightfully so. America did not play a good match, but they're okay. America is going to be okay. America is a Liguilla team. And if this team could figure it out, if they can recover Mateus Uribe to even half of what he was last season before the World Cup, because he didn't have a very good World Cup. He missed that crucial penalty with Colombia. And maybe that maybe that had a psychological impact on Mateus Uribe. But if they could just recover him to half of what he was, last season with America, he was the best player for America, bar none, last season. Then America is gonna start clicking, man. They're gonna start, doing better. And that's not saying much because this team did not play a good match against Toluca, but they're still sitting there, second position of the league with 29 points. Cruz Azul retakes the Superliderato, the first place position in the league table with 30 points. And let's transition over to this game, man. The Pumas versus Cruz Azul, another very interesting match, another great match. Another match that we might see eventually in another matchup that we might see eventually in the Liguilla, between Pumas and Cruz Azul. And CU, the Pumas stadium, is a place that Cruz Azul plays very well in. They feel comfortable there, man. They really, really do. So a 2-1 victory for Cruz Azul in the end over Pumas. And I forgot to mention, man, Cruz Azul Copa MX champions, man. Congrats to all Cruz Azul fans. A comfortable victory over Monterrey, who cannot win a damn final in their stadium to save their lives. I mean, what the hell is going on with Monterrey on that aspect? I mean, insane stuff, man. But I said comfortable victory for Cruz Azul because it felt like, even though it was only a 2-0 victory, it felt like they were in control the entire time. You know, like they weren't ever really in a ton of danger. That's how it felt like. At least that's how I perceived it. So, Cruz Azul, Copa MX champion, super líder right now, first place of the league. Man, Cruz Azul and Cruz Azul fans must be on cloud 9. Now, we all know the real test for Cruz Azul is going to be in the Liguilla, but this team looks extremely strong, and they are. I mean, best defensive team in the league, and if they figure it out on offense, if they get going, yeah, man, no one is going to want to face this Cruz Azul team. They're for real, man. They're for real this season. They made a heavy investment. They picked up, it seems like they picked up the right players. You know, Marcone has been a hit. Elias, Roberto Alvarado, Milton Caraglio. You know, it seems like all of these players have fit in the Cruz Azul system. They did it right, man. Peláez and Caixinha working together have done things really well here with Cruz Azul, man. You know, they didn't get the players super late into the season. They were all there in the preseason, working with the team, and the results are showing. So, watch out, man. Watch out for Cruz Azul, because in the Liguilla, no one is going to want to face this team. So, anyways, ladies, gentlemen, that's pretty much all I have for you guys. I know we were all over the place in this podcast. Talked about Victor Guzman, then Marcel Ruiz, then transitioned onto the Champions League action with our boys Tecatito, Herrera, and then we have Chucky and Guti. And we talked about some Liga MX. But I liked what we covered, man. I really liked it, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Leave me a comment if you're listening on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter at Futbol_forever. Instagram, Futbol Forever Podcast. Thank you guys for listening once again, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Futbol Forever out.